And welcome back to Sweet 16 of the Welcome to Duel Academy tournament. I'm your host, Leaky Lou. We got 16 competitors left, and it's about to get spicy, baby. Let's see how it goes. Our first game today is America Uchimura versus Professor Chronos. Let us see if America can pass Chronos' test. Chronos is going to start us off with an Ancient Gear box set of card and an Ancient Gear drill, setting a Heavy Storm. Let's think about that for a sec. Heavy Storm is an interesting choice against America. It seems like most of his good stuff is chainable, like Book of Eclipse, etc. I could still see an early Heavy Storm stopping some of that stuff. I might have gone Limiter Removal. Ancient Gear Golem, Limiter Removal, well-timed play could just take the game, but it's not a horrible choice. We'll see how it goes. Chainsaw Insects coming down, getting on the Ancient Gear box, but we have Zero Gravity, a great time to use it because America's not battling all that often, so you might as well do it now. And oh no, with no other monsters here, you have to attack the Ancient Gear box. And oh great, okay, Iron Draw against a little sussy against the deck out deck, but you know, it's fine. Dark World Dealings coming down. Either America is desperate or he is misplaying. Let's see. Chainsaw Insect getting on the Ancient Gear Soldier and going for another draw for Chronos. I'm guessing now he has gotten a lot more pieces in his hand. Hopefully he can do something a little bit better than attack with Ancient Gear box. He does have Toy Robot box to go for Ancient Gear Golem, but America's smart and Dark bribes it instead. Chronos plays Fissure here to get Chainsaw Insect off the field. Not a horrible play. He's just trying to get this Ancient Gear Golem from his hand onto the field any way possible. Gonna set another Ancient Gear box and hopefully be able to do it next turn. Now, we haven't seen any One Day of Pieces or Book of Eclipse from America. We have Dust Tornado coming down, hitting the appropriate, getting in on Ancient Gear Golem, and getting in on the Royal Magic Library. Beautiful, beautiful. Let's see. Hand Destruction coming down. That's going to... Yeah, America is in big trouble here. He's in big trouble here. He needs Book of Eclipse, and he needs One Day of Peace. Ancient Gear Soldier... Ancient Gear Castle coming down a little bit late there. Oh my god, Limiter Removal. Is this game? This is game. Oh man, side effect. Wait, no, double side effects. That's enough to give him 4,000 life points and keep him in the game and destroy all of Chronos' monsters. Wow, what a back and forth. Side effect. Oh, and then One Day of Peace off the top is great, although you're not looking good here if you're America. You really need a Morphing Jar. Man, if there's gonna be... He keeps playing those Ancient Gear Castles late, man. If there's going to be... God, sorry, I'm losing my train of thought. This is a great game. It's so interesting, this, like, side effect of side effects, right? Because I don't really think about the life point gain effect, but man, like, twice now in the last 2 matches, this side effects has, like, barely saved America from losing the game, and that's just really interesting. And then losing your entire Limiter Removal play here. Oh, Ancient Gear Golem. Oh yeah, Ancient Gear Golem is... Yeah, there it is. That is the game, right? There's no One Day of Peace up. No, there is not. Good game, America. That was a good one, but unfortunately, Chronos was pretty fast there. Okay, time to see if Chronos can save face. Oh my god, another One Day of Peace turn 1 for America. I get it. You want to play spells here, but man, it's just... I mean, you know, at least you get the +1 off the Royal Magic Library. It's not the worst usage of these cards. I still would probably not have done this. Finite cards coming down, and then another set from America. As long as he's got some of his defensive pieces, we are okay here. Ancient Gear Castle coming down, Ancient Gear Knight coming down, getting in on the Royal Magic Library, and oh yeah, I have to discard for finite cards there. Chainsaw Insect coming in. That's going to stop Chronos' advance a little bit, although it is going to give him a draw. He has 2 counters on that castle. Is he going to have the Ancient Gear Golem? Does he have it? Dust Tornado, you know he's got it after the Dust Tornado. And he hit Book of Eclipse. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Even though you can't chain Book of Eclipse to attack declaration, you still can chain it to the start of the battle phase. So, that's a great play to have to get rid of that before you even get anything on the field. He does Ancient Gear Drill, the Limiter Removal. I'm going to go ahead and call it here. I think that this game is going to America, unless he has an outsized... I mean, going to Chronos. Unless he has an outsized amount of One Day of Peace and... Book of Eclipse. He does have 2 One Day of Peace now. Dark World Dealings, he's trying to mine through. He really needs a Morphing Jar. If he could get a Morphing Jar after that one Day of Peace, he could reset the whole game, but unfortunately, he just doesn't have it. Confiscation coming down and hitting the Book of Eclipse. Wait, why didn't you set that? Oh, because One Day of Peace. Oh, that's so tragic that he hit that out of your hand and you were saving it. That was actually a really good play to save it there. Unfortunately, Confiscation was just the perfect card to out you. And now this is with Limiter Removal, and there it is. That's the game. Weird that he didn't... Oh, he did this because... oh, that was a great play. Limiter Removal could have given him Piercing with Ancient Gear Golem to maybe just take the game right here, but it was way more important to once he had the Ancient Gear Beast on the field, this game was over. Ancient Gear Beast negates the effect of whatever monster is set there, even if it was a Morphing Jar, it doesn't matter. Ancient Gear Golem gets in directly for game. Yeah, I guess one of the biggest counters to America is Limiter Removal, because if you can get that one turn where he doesn't have a Book of Eclipse or One Day of Peace to get through his defenses, suddenly you can just take the game in one turn. Professor Chronos, he is not worth nothing. He is taking out America Uchimura from the tournament, and I'm realizing how his name is spelled wrong in the bracket. Hopefully next time we see America, he'll be a little more prepared for the tournaments. Next up, we have Hosan. Oh, Hozan Gokaido versus Kagurazaka. Right, we've got the Warriors versus the Spellcast. All right, starting us off in game 1, we have Gokaido coming down with Sogen and no opposing field spell in Kagurazaka's deck to oppose that, so we can play that safely on turn 1. Usually if your opponent has a field spell, I think it's best to wait until the turn after your first turn if you go first, or you can do it on your first turn if you go second, because you just want to see if your opponent's going to drop a field spell. Of course, that does kind of start like a, you know, back and forth game of who's going to activate it first, but I think that's probably just a general basic rule. Anyway, getting in on these apprentice magicians, they do what they do, man. They apprentice, they float, you know, it's what they do. Going into the Ushioni here and getting in on Field Commander Raz, you should have got, he probably didn't have Ushioni in hand at the time of floating, otherwise he would have gone into Old Vindictive there. Bashing Shield, uh-oh. Lightning Blade, uh-oh. Now Kagurazaka has great face down. Smashing Ground is interesting. I guess he's playing around Adversity there specifically, but Magic Jammer stops him. And MST, he's playing around MST there with the Smashing Ground as well. But man, all those face downs, and of course Kagurazaka does have what he needs. And again, we are seeing the Battle Trap, Spell Trap removal is so important in this tournament. So, putting in a Warrior Lady of the Wasteland, that was pretty much Gokaido's big play. I mean, doing it when your opponent has 3 sets is just kind of, it's kind of sus. I don't know. Old Vindictive hitting Warrior Lady of the Wasteland is really good here because you see he just put Marauding Captain on top of the deck. So you know if he can float into another Marauding Captain, then he can get a lock up. So instead of even though Field Commander Raz is slightly bigger, you want to just make sure to kill that floater. Although no, if he had floated from Warrior Lady, Marauding Captain wouldn't be on top of the deck anymore. So never mind. Anyway, Field Commander Raz coming in. Sometimes this effect can actually be negative. Sometimes you don't want to draw a monster. You are forced to put it on top of your deck, and it's not always great. Like if you don't have a second Marauding Captain, you know, searching Marauding Captain isn't always great. Although wait, no, he searched 2, right? Yeah, that was, okay, no, actually, that was great. That was great. That was really lucky for him. Usually, if you don't have, like, one Marauding Captain, you go into Warrior Lady and kind of stay open enough to float. You could float into a Marauding Captain, or you can just float into anything else. You can kind of be a little more versatile. Anyway, getting in big here with the Spellcasters, it looks like this is the end of Hozan Gokaido in Game 1. He just does not have the sauce here, and there it is. Kagurazaka taking a pretty easy Game 1 from Gokaido. Stopping that Benkei play, that's when we knew it was the end of the duel. That was the decisive turning point of the duel. If that was going to go through, if he's going to win. If it wasn't, he was going to lose. And again, doing that with 3 face downs, a little eager. I'm not saying it was the wrong move. It depends on, you know, the totality of what's in your hand and everything, but very risky play, and it did not pay off for Gokaido. Okay, starting us off in Game 2, Gokaido sets 4 face downs, Muka Muka coming down, and the Sakuretsu Armor, one of Gokaido's strongest trap cards, destroying that Muka Muka and setting 2 cards face down from Kagurazaka. What do we have? Uh-oh, the Benkei is back. Again, 2 face downs, but that's okay. Getting in twice with Benkei. Kagurazaka has a lot less options for face downs when he doesn't have a monster on the field, because so many of them, like we saw last game with the, Kunai with Chain in the middle of it, but 7 tools of the Bandit. It is doing so much work in this tournament. Wow. When you don't have a monster on the field, you can feel a little bit safer attack. When your opponent doesn't have a monster on the field, you feel a little bit safer attacking into Kagurazaka, just because, like we've seen, MST, Dust Tornado, so many of those cards are specifically good as battle traps when you have a monster on the field. And that's true for a lot of the decks, actually. So, yeah, setting a monster face down there, and Swords Revealing Light. He did not summon Field Commander Raz in attack mode because in face up mode, because he really does not want to put a warrior monster on top of his deck. That's interesting. Back to the front in phase. The only reason you do that is because you want to keep up the pressure by being able to put this in attack mode, or if you want to tribute it. That's right. Okay, Warrior Lady getting destroyed, going into another Warrior Lady of the Wasteland. Ushioni getting in on the Warrior Lady. Warrior Lady floating into another Warrior Lady. He doesn't have a Marauding Captain in hand, unfortunately. Otherwise, we know he would have floated into that. Okay, switching defense mode. Uh-oh, Gokaido, it's not looking good for you. The Swords of Inlight are really crushing, because even if you somehow get the equip spells, which, by the way, would each power up Dark Red Enchanter, even if you do somehow get those equip spells out, the Swords of Inlight just prevents you from attacking anyway. Oh my god, Gokaido is getting crushed here. MST on the new face down. Uh-oh, that back to the front could have been really good. But this might be the game. Graceful Charity, this game is over. This game is super, super over. This game is so over. Oh no, 2150 and 3200 to the face, and Gokaido is knocked out in top 16. Wow, now still not great for a blue, but not as bad as some of the others that we've seen recently. We'll be interested to see how his rank is affected by that. Next up, we have Asuka versus Professor Ayukawa. Professor Ayukawa has already defeated Momo. Momo was not able to pass Ayukawa's test. We will see if Asuka can fare a little bit better. Okay, starting us off in game 1, we have Asuka with 3 face down cards. Professor Ayukawa, show me something interesting. The DD Warrior Lady is face down. Uh-oh, Professor Ayukawa has no monsters to summon. DD Warrior Lady, Rhoda. We got X-Will Cyber. Uh-oh, you know what that means? Oh no, it just means you want to attack directly. Okay, a little bit of a surprising choice there. I think you probably want to go Command Knight there, unless you're maybe like a little bit towards a Cyberblader. Oh, that's funny that she still gains the attack points after the Wabaku. Uh-oh. Okay, now you go Command Knights. We don't have a Cyber Blade to play, but we do have a very strong Command Knight play. Getting in with, uh-oh, this is so bad for Ayukawa. She is totally, like, bricked, man. She needs something here. Something here. Upstart got, uh-oh. You know that Ayukawa is very desperate. She starts dropping her Upstart Goblins before Refugule is on the field. It is a complete opposite of what her strategy wants to do. DD Warrior Lady, oh, banishing the Giant Germ and getting in directly for 3,400 from Eswell Cyber, and that is going to take the game for Asuka in 7 turns. Crushed her. Okay, Professor Ayukawa starting us off with 2 set cards. Asuka, show me something interesting. Warrior Lady of the Wasteland coming down, getting in on the face down Mystic Tomato. Okay. Mystic Tomato feels kind of good if you're Ayukawa. Not only does it give you some floats, but it also lets you potentially get into Refugule if that, you know, tickles your fancy. If that's where the cards are leaning. Cyber Gymnast on the Mystic Tomato is great here. You do not want her to be floating into Warrior Lady, into Refugule, and also you can't get over the Mystic Tomato anyway. So good play. Sending Cyber Prima is not that bad. Oh, there it is. Refugule's here. Reign of Mercy coming down, doing 1,000 burn. Malevolent Nuzzler. She does have this battle strategy as well here, so she's getting in on the Cyber Gymnast. That's a great play. What do we have, Asuka? DD Warrior Lady. Fusion Sword Mirror Same Blade. Uh-oh. What do we have? Okay, gift card. Okay, yeah, you got to play it now. Otherwise, you won't be able to play it later. She's not in a horrible position here as long as she can get something. She has to get, DD Warrior Lady is tough, though. Uh-oh, premature. Okay, I was going to say, if that was on... This is interesting. This is interesting because the Mystic Tomato is... obviously countered by the DD Warrior Lady, but the problem is that that's the strongest monster on Asuka's field. So Ayukawa, it's not a bad play here, right? You know that she can just banish your Mystic Tomato, but to do so, she would lose her strongest monster, not only preventing her from using its effect later, but also getting rid of this Fusion Sword Murasame Blade 2,300 attack point monster. So it's like daring her, like either you got to let me float or you got to lose your strongest monster. So we'll see if Asuka has a challenge for it. Oh, well, there's the challenge, another DD Warrior Lady, and she is going to use the effect again. We've seen a lot of DD Warrior Ladies on floaters in this tournament. From Asuka, I guess, specifically, right? 23 getting in directly here, and come on. Uh-oh, she's looking bad. A third DD Warrior Lady takes the game right now. Okay, Polly. Oh my god, it's Polly. Cyberblader getting in on the... Uh-oh, yep, this is DD Warrior Lady attack face down, and there it is. Asuka crushes Professor Ayukawa in both games, moving on to top 12. Very, very nice. Professor Ayukawa, your test was not that hard for Asuka. Unfortunately for Momo, it was a really bad matchup there. Okay, next up we have June Manjoume versus Professor Daitokuji. Oh my god, look at what could happen next. Oh wait, look at what's already happening next here. Ron Kocho versus... Oh, it's happening. Wow, I didn't even know if this would actually happen in the tournament. Wow, okay. We got to be rooting for Manjoume here. Not only because I love Manjoume, but also this would be so fun to watch. Okay, but I also really love Daitokuji's deck. I think we're back. Okay, looking at the games we have up next, you know, I think we're back in fun, interesting games. We've a lot of the weaker duelists are now finally out of the tournament. We can get back to potentially some more heart-stopping games. You know what I mean? So let's see how it goes with Manjoume versus Daitokuji. All right, starting us off in game 1, Manjoume is going to set a single monster and no other cards. Interesting. We have Element Valkyrie coming down, getting in on Cryuel. Cryuel has 1,700 defense. And is a pretty decent card here. What do we have? Regenerating Mummy coming in. That's wonderful. Regenerating Mummy getting in on the Element Valkyrie. Not a great position if you're Daitokuji, but one familiar possess gets you out of it. And there it is. He has Win coming down, getting in on the Regenerating Mummy. And suddenly we're feeling pretty good. That Cryuel can be a little scary sitting there, but for now I think... Uh-oh, Dark Geroid. Great for Manjoume here. Getting in on familiar possess Win. Book of Moon. Interesting. That's great. That's going to not only do damage, but also allow him to reset Win's attack points. An Element Sword coming down is interesting here, especially because Cryuel could take this thing out. I mean, I think that I think the Book of Moonplay... Oh, not good. I think the Book of Moonplay reveals that Familiar Possessed Win is actually Daitokuji's only monster, because it's not... I mean, I'm not saying it's a bad play to use Book of Moon there, but I could see an argument that if you have another monster get over Dark Geroid anyway, you don't really need to protect Win that badly. So I think that the Book of Moon maybe revealed that he really needs to protect this monster because he just doesn't have anything else. And the Element Sword play, I think, bolsters that as well, because he really does not want this thing to get gotten over. Even when it's facing down a Cryuel that could potentially destroy it, he still did Element Sword. So I think that shows this is a valuable card. And now Tribute to the Doomed is going to destroy it. Pretty bad for Daitokuji there. Mystic Tomato getting in directly for 14. And Daitokuji, are you going to prove me wrong or right? Oh, Doriato's Blessing. He just drew Doriato off the top, and I was right. He didn't have any more monsters. And we know he's got a Furin Kazan face down. We know it. We know it. Got to play it here. You don't love to. Manjoume plays this smart, right? You know that he's got Furin Kazan face down. So instead of, you know, you don't go any more in than you have to. You just keep the monsters on the field, and you force out the Furin Kazan before you even normal summon, before you set anything. And that feels pretty good there. Gilgarth coming down in main phase 2. Now, Doriado switches to defense mode. I mean, it could technically be another Furon Kazan face down, although I highly doubt that it is. Gilgarth getting in. Oh, these guys look very similar, right? I like that. I didn't really think about that. Chthonian Soldier getting in directly, and okay, Element Doom is not bad here. I think it's going to negate. No, Chthonian Soldier is dark. Doesn't negate its effect, but that's fine. You're not feeling great for Daitokuji here. Like a Spellbinding Circle would be beautiful, but I would have guessed he would have played that already. Yeah, he does not have that. Chthonian Soldier getting in directly. Man, Manjoume doesn't have that much pressure. All you need is one Familiar Possessed. Oh, and there it is. Again, I'm always calling it. When he needs the one Familiar Possessed, he does end up getting it. The thing is that Daitokuji's advantage here against Manjoume is that his monsters are just, oh, this is some bait if I ever saw it. Daitokuji's biggest advantage here is just that his level 4s are 50 points higher than almost all of Manjoume's level 4s. And there's Raigeki Break. It's so interesting that he summoned that in attack mode there. I mean, it doesn't really... No, it's not interesting. I think that's probably the right play there. Uh-oh. Does this get through? Uh-oh. And then Daitokuji loses a card from hand. He loses the... Oh, familiar... I mean, not... yeah, Win the Wind Medium is what it is. Yeah. And Element Soldier getting in on the Chthonian Soldier. You're gonna have to set that last card in your hand. Oh, you can't because it's Doriado. We watched you search it, right? I think we did. MST on the last face down. Uh-oh. Any monster? No, he doesn't have a monster. I would have saved that MST. I think if you were going for game, that'd be one thing, but that face down card has been there forever, and he has never been able to stop attacks when he really... Uh-oh. Pre-prep. No, it doesn't matter. You can't do anything with that, unfortunately. Yeah, you still lose the game there. Manjoume takes game 1 in a pretty fun back and forth. All right, starting us off, we have Familiar Possessed Asa coming down, and a face down card. Manjoume, what do you have? Dark Geroid. It is beautiful. Hit over that Asa. And another Book of Moon. Okay, this is his perfect counter to Dark Geroid, apparently. And no face downs again for Manjoume. He's not drawing a lot of his countering, traps or quick plays. Getting in with also on the Dark Geroid, getting in directly on the life points. And Manjoume, show me something interesting here. Setting a face down card is fine. Mystic Tomato, I'm guessing. Oh, Night Assailant, not bad. I believe he has 2 copies of this. He can get a discard chain, and I believe that he has like Raigeki Break. I think he has a few ways to actually make that discard chain happen, but it hasn't happened here. I think Bakura had that in Duelist Kingdom as well, and he never really got it off, so it's kind of hard to actually see happen. But anyways, Witch of the Black Forest searching for Familiar Possessed area, or no, Hida, sorry. And Hida is, again, just enough to get over Manjoume's monster. Manjoume has a little bit of an uphill battle for these level 4s, but he has a lot of good... just support cards that kind of make his deck flourish here. He's not drawn any Chthonian Emperor Dragons. It's so interesting. I feel like, I really expected Chthonian Emperor Dragon to be a force in the tournament today. It can be so strong. I mean, it can just be like an OTK card. And we really haven't seen it. Like, we've barely seen it. And when we have seen... Oh, he's doing this to protect his life points. It's pretty cruddy to have to use Fiend Sanctuary like this. Yeah, because Daitokuji doesn't mind taking the damage there. Yeah, like, let alone if we barely seen Chthonian Emperor, I don't think we've ever really seen its effect, like, go off to success, like, without just being destroyed. And that's really... Oh, Dust Tornado on the Chthonian Alliance, and there it is. Manjoume scoops in game 2. Folks, we have a game 3 on our hands, and I love a game 3. Yes, I do. I sure do. For all the marbles, Manjoume setting 3 cards face down. What do we have? Daitokuji, a Familiar Possessed Hida coming in on the face down monster. That is Cryuel. Uh-oh. Heads. There it is, destroys the Hita. Feeling very good for hitting that heads if you're Manjoume. Manjoume coming in with Chthonian Soldier. Chthonian Soldier getting in directly for 1,200. This is one of the worst cards in his deck, but it does work with a really good combo that we just have not gotten to see yet. There's a few cards that work with a combo that I think is really good in this deck if you can get it off. And we just really have not gotten to see it. Dark Geroid getting in on Element Magician here is great. You really would prefer to be able to save those for the Familiar Possess, because you can get over this with any of your normal beaters. But unfortunately, Manjoume is just not looking good if he has to do this play. Probably, unless he's got some other stuff. Dark Geroid again. Okay, maybe he just has a lot of Dark Geroids. Chthonian Alliance on the Dark Geroid, yeah, he's kind of in a little bit of a desperate position here where he's not getting any of his bigger beaters, so he kind of just has to rely on Dark Geroid strats. Familiar Possessed Wind getting in. Element Sword coming out. Uh-oh, and Shadow Spell in the middle of the damage step feels great for Manjoume here. Stopping the attack, destroying Wind, and going on to the next turn with Daitokuji having no cards on field. Getting in 18, 2K. Daitokuji is almost out here. What do you have, man? What do you have? You gotta have something good here. Doriado's Blessing. Is this just to defend? Or, oh my god, horrible play to have to make here. Oh no, just to summon a monster to not immediately lose. And there it is, he immediately loses anyway. Manjoume takes out Daitokuji in game 3. Manjoume is not completely out yet. He does pass Daitokuji's test and move on to top 12, where he will face Misawa. This right here All of these looks like a really fun group of games. I'm really excited to see how it goes. Let's see it. Okay, starting us off in game 1, we have Chronos with an Ancient Gear box and 2 face-down cards. Okay, Flying Kamakiri coming down, hitting into the Ancient Gear box and setting 2 cards face down. Show me something interesting. Ancient Gear Knight getting in on the Flying Kamakiri, floating into, what do we have here? A Mahjong Munia Maidens. You love to see that. To start doing some drawing and some discarding. And Garuda the Wind Spirit is cool here. Okay, you're going to use this to Malevolent Nuzzler, get in on the Ancient Gear Knight. But Zero Gravity is going to stop you. And, oh, Swallow's Nest. Oh, wow. Okay, okay. I think that this, so the thing is that, you know, it's a little bit of a crusty play because you lose your Malevolent Nuzzler. I think you do this because you're fearing Ancient Gear Golem. That's what this is. You don't want him to have 2 monsters on field at the end phase, which is what would have happened if you hadn't Swallow's Nested there. So you really, and also Ancient Gear Knight is kind of strong anyway, and you used an equip spell already to try to get over that. So you want to kind of like, you know, gambler's fallacy your way into making sure that if you put this much into getting out this Ancient Gear Knight, you want to make sure it actually stays off the field like you wanted. Trojan Horse coming down. If you can leave, if this thing can live for 1, oh my god, 2 Mahjong Munia Maidens, she's going to start mining. Oh my god, 3 Mahjong Munia Maidens. She sends 1 to the graveyard. If this Trojan Horse can live, you're feeling real good. But the question is, can it? Uh-oh, Wing Requital feels great here. Okay, Trojan Horse did not live. Okay. And they're both flipping back down. The Maidens. Confiscation on the very last card in her hand. That is actually, you know, regardless of like the fact that Kujaku is kind of bad, there's no way that at least one of these face downs doesn't require a discard. It's got to be a Magic Jammer or a Trap Jammer. She has a lot of those in her deck, and it is one of the downsides of her deck. She just has a lot of cards that need to be discarded. And so the confiscation kind of serves a double purpose there. Obviously the Kujaku is meh, but preventing her from being able to discard does make your plays a little bit more likely to go off. So not the worst thing in the world. Ancient Gear Workshop for the Ancient Gear Knight getting in on the, oh, just gonna crash here. It's not bad. That's not bad actually. Yeah, I'm not sure about that one. Yeah, you know what? I support it. I support it. Whatever. Because he was probably going to be able to. It can go either way. It can go either way. I support it because it's a 50-50 in my opinion. Just going into the Mahjong Munia Maidens and trying to get into. She's looking for Troposphere or Elector. That's what she wants right now, really badly. And she is going to draw every damn card in her deck until she can get it. And Chronos hopes to survive 1 more turn until he can get an Ancient Gear Golem out. I'm guessing that is what he has in his hand, but unfortunately, Junko prevents that from happening here. Another Ancient Gear box, not good, man. What? This is not great. Mahjong Munia Maiden flipping up again. She is just, oh my gosh, look at this, look at this. Another Sky Scout coming down. Okay, she's basically given up on trying to keep a card in her hand to discard. She just wants to put up as much pressure as possible to make absolute sure that an Ancient Gear Golem never comes out. And this is kind of what you end up when you're Chronos and you get a game where you don't draw Ancient Gear Castle. Kind of sucks. But the Giant Rat face down is pretty good. The problem is the other face down is Ancient Gear Soldier. So I think that even if he's able to float with Giant... Oh, and then Troposphere finally comes down after all of those draws and discards. Is that like... Look, that's 14 cards in deck. And she finally drew her first Elector or Troposphere. Wow, that's like 4 copies that are left in the last like 15 cards in her deck there. Sky Scout getting in a Giant Rat. But yeah, like I said, even though you have Giant Rat here, the fact is you other monster is still going to be destroyed. And you still aren't going to be able to get out that Ancient Gear Golem. It's not looking good for you, Chronos. I don't see you coming back from this one. You need something, I guess like a Toy Robot box. But the problem is that requires a discard, which you don't have to still keep Ancient Gear Golem and the discard. Oh no, he's out of Giant Rat floats. Oh, brother, you're so done. You're so done. This game is over. I'm calling it now. I've seen enough. Premature Burial's not bad. Oh, yeah, it's pretty. Oh, what are we doing here? Oh, what are we doing there? I wonder. Let's see. Giant Rat into Ancient Gear Soldier, maybe? Which would go up to 16. I'm curious. No, the reason I could see prematuring into Giant Rat instead of one of these other things is because you want to play around spell trap removal that could destroy Premature Burial, and then maybe there's like a limiter removal face down or something, and he was hoping to live 1 more turn by having his machine. Okay, yeah, he did. I want to unpack this play. Give me a second. Let me look at Chronos' deck again. No, I got to be honest. I'm not seeing it. The only floats you have here are Ancient Gear Soldier and Ancient Gear Box. I was thinking maybe he wanted to damage Condenser into Ancient Gear Box, but it has to be in attack mode, and also he doesn't have the discard for that. So, I mean, I get Premature Burialing for Giant Rat to maybe save yourself by floating next turn, plus Call the Haunted can help save you. I just don't get attacking with the Giant Rat. I don't know if that was just a funny kamikaze I already lose kind of play. I'm not, there was something there. I'm not quite big brain enough to actually see what it was. Okay, starting us off in game 2. Professor Chronos with Confiscation hitting the Call of the Haunted. Let's see, hold on, let's take a look at that choice there. That was Flying Kamakiri, Malevolent Nuzzler, Elector, and Garuda. Interesting. Oh, because if you send Elector, she can Call of the Haunted back. That's the problem with sending Elector. None of the others are big threats. You have to Call the Haunted there because you would send a monster, and whatever monster you send, she can just go ahead and get back. So, moving on, she comes down with the Flying Kamakiri and attacks into the Ancient Gearbox. Come on, Chronos. I want to see some good games from you. I feel like you've been a little underwhelming today. I'm going to be honest. You just have not had the sauce that I maybe expected that you would have today. Okay, Elector, of course, comes down. What do you do about that? You kind of knew it was coming. Wait, did he... So he Iron Draws and then does not attack into the Kamakiri, which is strange, right? That's a strange thing to do. I think that what you're going for here is trying to not allow her to special summon Garuda, because the short-term benefit of getting one extra Flying Kamakiri in the graveyard is not as big. You know, obviously you want to get her off the float chains eventually, but in the short term, it just means she gets another Garuda out. So I suppose I can at least see that. So yeah, as we saw before, Elector, Sovereign Birds coming down because you end up having 2 Earth monsters on the field. I feel like it was a little more important to play around Elector than it was to play around Flying Kamakiri, but you know, I suppose you could only have played around one, so you chose which one. Flying Kamakiri into the Ancient Gear Soldier here. Oh, this is not good, Chronos. You're come on, man. Ancient Gear Workshop. Don't tell me you're just gonna set that, bro. Oh, it's effect. Oh, I forgot about this. What does this thing do again? I've like never seen this go off. If this card is added from the deck or graveyard to the hand, except by drawing it, you can add one Earth Magician monster with 500 attack and or defense from your deck to your hand. So you can add Ancient Gear Knight, which has 500 defense. That's interesting. Okay. All right. Still not great here. All you did was basically set this thing, and oh my God, Chronos, you need some buffs, brother. This is so bad. Yeah, Chronos has been extremely underwhelming today, I'm gonna be honest. Setting another face down from Chronos there. Come on, Garuda the Wind Spirit coming in. I feel like Chronos is like it's interesting because he actually is serving like a really good damage condenser here for Trojan Horse for 1600 damage. Oh, that's fun, Trojan Horse. Now you can Ancient Gear Golem. Dust Tornado on the swords. Hold on. Yes, sir, Ancient Gear Golem is here. Get over that Elector, and now we are back in business, baby. I was counting him out. Doshido on the face down is not what you want to see there. Elector and Malevolent Nuzzler. We knew it was in the hand from turn 1, and that's going to be the game. It's really funny. As much as Chronos set out to not be a professor today, and let's be clear, he did not do a lot of teaching, only playing for himself, but it is funny how Chronos is what is it called? A skill check. Because what Chronos was in the tournament today was any duelist below a certain level, Chronos could easily take them out. Like, you had to be, like, Chronos is like the level of entry into like the higher rounds. Obviously not, because he didn't face everybody, but it seems like conceptually he is. Like, you know, you get him against someone like Beauregard, he fought Toramaki, he fought America, right? Any of the duelists that are like below, like basically this level, actually looking at all these duelists, like Chronos can take them out relatively easily, but any duelist that's this level, Chronos gets crushed by. So it's almost like he's the skill check, like the filter of like good versus bad. It's like if you have a decent deck, this thing you can beat him 10 times out of 10, but if you don't, he is the skill check that keeps you out of the higher rounds. I'm trying to think. I'm always talking about MBT, I know. I was watching an MBT video the other day. Here's what it was. It was about recently there's been a huge conversation because Konami, you don't have to watch this, you could just skip to the next one. There's been a big conversation around Konami. They made the Edison format changes. You would do the modern rule set with Edison format, and they've changed the decision since then. But MBT, I think, was reacting to a video about Edison format. He was talking about how frogs, I think it was about frogs at the time, were a skill check in Edison. It's like because frogs were in the format, in the Time Wizard Edison rules, the classic rules, frogs are I don't remember the word that he used, but it's exactly what I want to describe Chronos' deck here. They're like a skill check for the format. It keeps out like the rabble. It keeps out the riffraff. It's the bodyguard at the door of playing at one of the higher tables. So I don't know. That's just random. Why am I talking about this? That's what Chronos' deck was. Anyways, good work, Junko. We are moving forward. Briar versus Kagurazaka. Let's see it happen. All right. So Kagurazaka was not able to take on Misawa. Can he take down Briar? If Briar takes down Kagurazaka here, that is enormous for him. Even if he doesn't, he's had a good enough run that I think he's... Oh, Adversity is great here. This is one of his best trap cards. And Hammer Shot feels great, though, too, if you're Briar. But unfortunately, no monsters to follow it up with. That is really not good here. The Sugar Golem getting in. Now, luckily, as always, Briar has much stronger monsters than Kagurazaka. But Enraged Battle Ox coming in, getting in on that Destroyer Golem. Blast with Chain, let me guess. He's got to rush recklessly. He's not afraid of that Blast with Chain. Yeah, knew it. No problem at all. And Robin Goblin, hold on. He is Robin. He's Goblin. Oh, snap. Hitting the Lucky Iron Axe is pretty tough there, and we set Mysterious Guard. You take a little bit of piercing damage here, but it feels good to put that Enraged Battle Ox on top of the deck, especially where he does not have any other monsters. Now, can he protect himself at all, or is he gonna... Oh, yeah, he doesn't. Setting 2 is interesting there. Okay, back to the front at the end phase. This is what I was talking about earlier that when I was wrong. Back to the front at end phase is a way to make sure that your monster that you summon can actually attack. Uh-oh, Call the Haunted back in the Spear Dragon, and suddenly Spear Dragon and Warrior Digrapher are back at it again. Old enemies from earlier in the duel. Enraged Battle Ox is now coming down. Spear Dragon can get over the... Uh-oh, Magic Cylinder. Those tough spells and traps, man. Very tough, very tough. Okay. Now, fortunately, though, that does mean the Spear Dragon is not going to go... Oh, my God. Dark Red Enchanter off the top is crazy. But Rush Recklessly... Oh, Michizure is great. Yeah, that's great. Wait, let me think. Rush Recklessly would have turned it into a Crash, actually. So Rush Recklessly would have been good. But Michizure is just as good, actually. It ends up to be the exact same result. And now both of them are left with 1700s exactly. Wow. Now, oh my God. Enraged Battle Ox and Warrior Digrapher. It's Draining Shield. Okay, guys, we have a game on our hands. Look at this. They are back and forth. And setting because of afraid of Robin Goblin. Oh, Superior Protector defends the Enraged Battle Ox. Briar is not playing around and suddenly gets in for 14. 15. Sorry, Robin Goblin. Okay, yeah. 17. Okay, getting in huge here. Now, let me guess. Dark Hole off the top. Show it to me, Kagurazaka. Show it to me. Show it to me. Okay, it's Apprentice Magician. Very good. Not quite as good because, of course, you are playing against someone that's doing piercing damage, but very good. What, like, basically exactly what you want. Like, the perfect top deck except for Dark Hole. Potentially even, well, no, not better than Dark Hole, but very, very good top deck there. And do you have spells to go into here, or do you prefer Old Vindictive? No, we prefer, well, I don't know. You get Pot of Greed or Old Vindictive. Yeah, we're going Magician of Faith for Pot of Greed. Not bad. The only problem is you have to live one more turn to make that Pot of Greed work. You can flip here, actually, because he pierces anyway. You flip here. Yes. To try to get something right now. You want Dark Red Enchanter or Ushioni. Come on. Show it to me. Oh, the Legend for Dark Hole. Okay, hold on. Let's see. Discards. Muka Muka and Magic Jammer for Dark Hole. And summons Rogue Doll in main... And then, oh, yeah. Okay, 1600 getting in. Guys, what a game. What a game. What a game. End phase. Oh, no. Briar, no way. No way, no way, no way. Wow. And that, I mean, as soon as we get, like, right, as soon as we get to these rounds, we start immediately going back to the very, very exciting games here. Wow, that was so back and forth. I mean, wow, the Magician of Faith float into the Pot of Greed off just, you know, the best you can do. And it actually makes a ton of sense if you think about his skill, the Legend. He's not Pot of Greeding for anything to out the opponent's field. What he's Pot of Greeding for is a monster and a trap of any kind in his entire deck so that he can go into Dark Hole. A really, really interesting play there. And wow, just wow. Okay, let's go to game 2. I thought Briar had that one, man. That's really tough, but it was a great game. So what are you gonna do? Okay, Briar starting us off. Oh, 2 face downs. He has not had a lot of monsters in the beginning of these last 2 games now. Warrior Digrapher coming in, getting in directly for 17. Briar, come on, show me something, brother. Mad Sword Beast. Okay, we know he's got like 10 Rush Recklessly's back there. Okay, Rogue Doll getting in. You got to sacrifice the Rogue Doll to the throne of Rush Recklessly. Rush Recklessly with Mad Sword Beast specifically is like such a great, that's a great thematic combo there. Okay, and into Saber Beetle. Okay, I like this. Magic Cylinder is tough here, but it's okay. You got enough life points. You can spare it. It's gone now. It's kind of honestly feels good for that to not be in the back of your mind at all times. Uh-oh. Dark Red Enchanter plus MST Rush Recklessly is tough because it's going to protect you for this one turn, but it's going to make Dark Red Enchanter even stronger. And Smashing Ground. No, Dark Red Enchanter is just too strong, man. Oh my God. Smashing Ground is so tough there. Call the Haunted. What do we have? What do we have here? Big Bang Shot? What do we have here? What do we have here? Double Big Bang Shot? No, this is not enough, brother. Wait. What are we doing? Superior Protector. Okay. Whoa. I see what he's doing. Man, this is a really desperate play to buy literally one more turn. Because Big Bang Shots, you're getting 400 for each one, and he's getting 300 for each one. So you do exactly 2 Big Bang Shots, knowing that you have Superior Protector, knowing you couldn't put Saber Beetle in defense mode because of Call the Haunted. And you probably wouldn't want to anyway, because then he would have just won anyway. So he's like, I need this Saber Beetle. I need to not lose here. Saber Beetle's in attack mode. exactly, if I use 2 Big Bang shots, he does 600 damage instead of more than 700. With Superior Protector, he lives for 1 more turn with 100 life points. But I gotta be honest, Briar, I think that this is the end of your run in the Welcome to Duel Academy tournament, but you did a damn good job, brother. You did a damn good job. And back to the front end phase is gonna do it, unless he's got... I don't think there's anything that's protecting him here. I think that this is just game over. Getting in with Dark Red Enchanter here, and there it is. Briar, you did great. You did great. You weren't able to beat Kagurazaka or the Kaiser, but you have shown your worth today, and you are in the top 12 of the tournament, and that's pretty respectable. Moving on, next we have, oh, hell yeah, brother. Ron Kocho versus Asuka Tenjoin. Let's do it. So, what's fun about this is the, just to kind of get out of character for just a second here, there are some times when I set up potential matches where I'm like, okay, let's put them together in round 1. Let's just make it happen. For example of that would be Misawa versus Motatani. Now, there are others kind of like Asuka and Ron here today. And there was one more. There's one more that I thought there might have been one more interesting game. Oh, yeah, like Rey and the Kaiser. That's what it was. Rey and the Kaiser, Asuka and Ron. These are examples of, just to take a step back and kind of go behind the mirror a little bit, behind the curtain a little bit, behind the mirror. These are ones where I'm like, if it happens, great. If it doesn't, also great. Because I kind of have a way that might go either way. So that's why you can see me kind of pretty nakedly, like just setting up a game that I'm in the intros where it's like I'm setting this up with like Misawa and Motatani. The ones that I don't very obviously set up in round 1 or round 2, sometimes I'm like, you can fight, but only if you earn it with one game to actually fight each other. Like, if I don't set it up in round 1 or round 2, it's probably because I probably just like don't care which way it goes, and either way is going to lead to a different but fun, conclusion. Which honestly, I'm not saying that anything's necessarily going to happen in this, but the point is, right here, right now, at this exact moment in the tournament, we are zooming into the field and we are listening to Ron Kocho tell Asuka Tenjoin. I like to think they have little like microphones in their things to kind of communicate with each other, and you can like click a button. This is from Origin of Species, that Pokemon story online. That's very good. I actually have it in the description because I think it inspired a lot of stuff here. Either way, we know how they do it with the gym leader fights is like you click a button in the mic, and then you're speaking to the arena, and then you can kind of boast, you can kind of brag. Also, that's how you do your plays. I summon this, summon this. You click a button again, and then it kind of just gives you a one-on-one direct line with your opponent. And that's kind of how I imagine these duels going. And so I can just imagine Ron, she clicks a little button just to Asuka, boom, right here. She tells her for the first time, yeah, I was in the room. She was in the room when they decided to kidnap Atticus, when the spies of House Kocho, they brought her along. She was part of her training. They brought her along to so she could witness them tell the prince's people that Atticus was unloyal, disloyal, that he was plotting against the throne, and they made the decision right there in that room in front of her to kidnap Atticus and do things with him. Now, she doesn't know exactly what happened to him or where he went, but she was there, and she's kind of goading Asuka. I was a part of it. I was there. It was good. It felt good. That traitor, that filthy traitor, we got him, that kind of thing. She is talking so dirty to Asuka, and now, based on how the game goes, we will determine if Asuka's response to that is that actually works, or if Asuka's response to that is getting really angry and it fueling her. That's how this, depending on how the duel's going to go, we're going to retroactively say that's how that interaction ends. So let's watch it happen here. So Ron is going to start us off with 2 face-down cards. I hope that's Ron. That is Ron, indeed. Okay, Asuka coming down with DD Warrior Lady. Are you going to banish the Howling Insect? Not on this one. I do understand that. Going into Pinch Hopper here. Okay. Now, interesting. With the DD Warrior Lady, it makes this whole thing a little more interesting. Oh, Crossword Beetle's great here. You're going to bait out the DD Warrior Lady's effect and then attack with the Pinch Hopper and keep yourself a little bit of room for some boss monster coming down from Pinch Hopper. Graceful Charity coming out, +3, -2. To Cyber Prima and Fusion Sword Cyber Blade. Reinforcement into Blade Skater. Oh, Polly into Cyber Blader. Hell yeah, brother. Rhoda on the DD Warrior Lady. Are you going to use this to prevent Pinch Hopper's effect? Allegro Tool. Oh my god, she's got everything here. DNA Surgery is gone. DD Warrior Lady banishes the Pinch Hopper, preventing her from going into her boss monster, and Cyber Blader getting in directly for 2100. Amazingly from Asuka. Now, it did take up all her resources. A Smashing Ground or whatever. I don't know what Ron's... Swords Revealing Light. Oh my god, Cyber Prima on the... Oh, okay. Cyber Prima on the Swords Revealing Light. Wow, I was just going to say she already used her Allegro Tool, so she didn't have... oh my god, Ron, are you bricked? Wait, what? Oh god, Asuka doesn't have a way to push this. Oh my god, she's like bricked on Empress Madison, Insect Princess, I bet. Oh my god, Ron. Oh my god. Wow. 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 That's so tough. Guard Mantis is great here, though. That is really, really great. That is great. 2 sets here, even though Asuka hadn't set last turn. Empress Mantis plus Malevolent Nuzzler. That's good. Now, if you can get Cyber Prima back out somehow, then you can get this off the field. But double passe, that is the game. Amazing, Asuka. Great work. There it is. I gotta know the hand here. The Resonance Insect, you could have set that last turn. Why did you? What are we thinking here? I'm not sure what we're thinking here. I'd have to go back and see what her hand was in that turn. All right, starting us off in game 2, Ron is going to set 3 cards face down and pass it on. Asuka, show me something. Graceful Charity, +3, -2. Rhoda, getting into Command Knight. Uh-oh. 1 Command Knight's down, hitting on the Pinch Hopper. Pinch Hopper's going to float into Empress Mantis, one of Ron's boss monsters, setting 2 cards face down. Let's see it. Cross-Sword Beetles here. You got to get this Command Knight off the field at all costs. Okay, Empress Mantis is gone. Now, if you have a Graveyard Revival card, you are feeling really good if you're Asuka right now. MST on the swords. Uh-oh. Well, if you have a Graveyard Revival card and another Command Knight, which I'm guessing she does. Oh, MST on the Premature Burial. No. I'm guessing she has another Command Knight because she wrote it into Command Knight, which, oh man, now Rhoda into Cyber Gymnast. Cyber Gymnast, you have to use your effect. Discard from Empress. I'm guessing, I'm almost positive that last card in her hand is a Command Knight. That's why she was going for Premature Burial, probably. Call of the Haunted. Uh-oh, Ron is now stopping Asuka every step of the way. Crossword Beetle getting in directly for 18, and Asuka is in trouble. Let's see. Rhoda for Warrior Lady. Okay, that's a good, she used all 3 Rhodas here? She sure did, yeah. That's going to give her a little bit of time to stall and hopefully get into something. Oh, but all her monsters are piercing. Oh, that's tough. I mean, it really only matters for the first one because she already floats. And this might be game. No, it's 1100. Oh my God. Wait, didn't? Okay. Ron is, I don't know about this one. So Ron is reading that Asuka has Poly or Etwal Cyber or Blade Skater in hand. And basically the only way one of the only ways she could lose a Lightning Vortex, to be honest. One of the only ways she loses right now is if Warrior Lady floats into Blade Skater or Etwal Cyber next turn, and then Asuka drops Poly. That is like one of the ways that she could still lose this duel. So instead of attacking into that last Warrior Lady of the Wasteland, she's like, you know what? I'm gonna let it ride, and I'm going to think that I'm going to do nothing. Now, I'm thinking this is actually a Command Knight in hand, but maybe I'm just misreading that. So we'll see how that ends up playing out. It's not a bad play. It's not a bad play at all. DD Warrior Lady is interesting here. Oh, she's doing this to stop the piercing. Not bad, but I don't... We'll see. Getting over that last Warrior Lady of the Wasteland, floating into Blade Skater. Yeah, the Pierce, actually the DD Warrior Lady on the, oh my God, 100 life points left. Asuka, I don't think, oops, didn't mean to look at face down. It's over, and there it is. No, she did have the Command Knight. I was wrong. So she was actually probably right for not doing that because she could have drawn Poly that next turn. So either way, Asuka, you did well, but in game 2, you have been actually perfect victory. So we got a game 3 in our hands, folks. Here we go. This is not technically yet for the top of the Obelisk Blue Girls because Junko is still on the other side of this bracket, but it's a very important step towards it. So let's see who will win this. This is so important. Oh my God. Okay, Asuka starting us off with a set Warrior Lady and a face down card. Now, Primitive Butterfly coming down. Insect Imitation, one of her best combos here. Some Primitive Butterfly into Insect Imitation for Empress Mantis. Getting in on the Warrior Lady, doing some piercing damage from Crossroad Beetle, and then not attacking. This time, I definitely agree with not attacking here. Cyber Gymnast coming down, as she always does. This card's one Cyber Gymnast, destroy the Empress Mantis, and switches Warrior Lady to defense mode. Unfortunately, you are still going to get pierced here, yes, because she has another insect monster. Now, Warrior Lady's going to float into Warrior Lady, but Insect Knight don't care about the Warrior Lady. He wants to get Cyber Gymnast off the field. Asuka is off to a really early, ooh, this is not good. Ron's off to a really good early start here, but that's a Command Knight face down, and if she can't stop that Command Knight, then this could mean that we have a double Command Knight coming down next turn. We'll see how it goes. Sakuretsu on the Blade Skater. Wait a minute. Rhoda. Command Knight. Okay, she doesn't have Cyber Blader, but she does have double Command Knight here. And that's oh, Miniaturize is so tough there. You lose the lock as soon as you get it up. Miniaturizing her down to the size of an insect as she does. Yeah, that Sakuretsu on the Blade Skater was interesting because it seems like you do that if you want to protect Blade Skater so that you can go into Cyber Blader. But instead, oh my God, she had another. Oh, is it triple? The triple Command Knight, but MST. Dude, Premature Burial is always stopped by MST. And again, you see why those quick play spell and trap destruction cards are so important. Command Knight on the Resonance Insect here and going into Empress Mantis. And okay. This Guard Mantis is so good. Oh, and that third Command Knight would have let her get over Guard Mantis. That's what that was about. Ooh, tributing for this is interesting. You must have a Shrink face down. I'm reading Shrink. Mirasami Blade on the Empress Mantis. It's Shrink. I knew it. Otherwise, you don't tribute that Guard Mantis there. Okay, man, that sucks. But luckily, 2 Command Knights. You're feeling pretty good here, Asuka. Now, Command Knight is not... Oh, double passe. Because Etwell Cyber can attack Relic next turn and then gain 600 attack points to get over Empress Mantis in the following turn. Great. Okay, I can see this. Yeah, oh man, this is a game. 18 to 19 here. Oh my god, this is so exciting. Asuka is definitely the favorite here, but I'll run these as a little bit of monster destruction. Or this could be it right here. Call the Haunted. Call the Haunted is not enough because DD Warrior Lady can still destroy it. And, it doesn't even have to crash. Oh my god, and there it is. That is the game. The double Command Knight is just too strong. And just like that, Asuka has defeated Ron, which means that in response to Ron's goading, Asuka, it did nothing but only piss her off. Also, I'm sorry. You did not move forward, Briar. I'm so sorry, buddy. I'm so sorry. I gotta get you out of there. So in response to Ron's goading, her plan backfired, and it fueled Asuka a fire within her like has never been seen before, and she crushed Ron Kocho in Game 3. But a really good match there. Super fun. So let's move on to our last match of top 16, or top 12 technically. But, and that is going to be Daichi Misawa versus Jun Manjoume. Oh boy. All right, starting us off, we have Manjoume with 2 set cards. Misawa, show me something good. Hydrogeddon, let me guess. No, Ocean's Keeper into Cranium Fish, into MST on the face down, into discard Water Monster. Yeah, I think so. Crushing his whole field here and getting in directly with Cranium Fish. Now, he did cost him a little bit of resources to do that, but it was a very bold offensive first play, and we'll see if it pays off. Dark Geroid getting in on the Cranium Fish. Cranium Fish is a very strategic card, Sometimes you gotta know when to hold them, know when to fold them. But oh my god, Fossil Dig and Hydrogeddon is huge here. You gotta know when to hold them, know when to fold them, and very often you just wanna fold them, hold them. That expression doesn't really work here. Point is, you wanna go all in with Cranium Fish a lot of the time and just start 1-for-1ing for all their face down cards. It just feels it's a risky move, but it really often does pay off, and it did here. Now Premature Burial again on Dark Geroid. Now unfortunately, I don't know if that really matters much here. Oh, but Chthonian Emperor Dragon, that's why. Now get over these Hydrogeddons. And it is his last ditch play. This is looking really bad for Manjoume. Holy, and Dark Core, that's it. Oh my god, Misawa just wipes the floor with him. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Wow. Manjoume, no way, man. Not like this, man. You have to come back stronger in Game 2, please. Okay, Manjoume starting us off with a Gilgarth. That is going to be something that at least the Hydrogeddon can't get over this time. Akashic Record, a great draw card there from Misawa, drawing Magic Jammer and Cranium Fish. Summoning Oxygeddon and setting 2 cards face down. Let's see it. Dark Geroid coming down, hitting over the Oxygeddon with its effect, and then attacking, and Negate Attack is coming out. Okay. Let's see. Fossil Dig. Hydrogeddon. Wait a minute, guys. We could see it right now. And it would make sense because right now, Gilgarth gets over all 3 of his monsters. We could see it now. It's bonding H2O for the Water Dragon. Let's see it. Oh, yeah, baby. Right there. That is H2O. Hell yes. Oh, my God. Against Manjoume, too. Feel like a kid again. You love to see it. Water Dragon getting in on the Night Assailant. But wait, can this thing summon during the damage step? Yes, it can. Okay, we're good. Oh, no. This is actually a horrible Night Assailant for Manjoume. Now he gets in with all 3 monsters. Oh, no. That backfired so hard. Holy crap. Oh, my God. You know what you never want to do is destroy Water Dragon in the middle of the battle phase. Chthonian Alliance on the Mystic Tomato. Oh, no. That's your best play here, Manjoume. Wow. Oh, God. Cranium Fish. Oh, no, dude. Hitting the Chthonian Blast. Now, luckily, Mystic Tomato, I think he still has 1 more Hydrogeddon to float into, though, is the thing. He does. He totally does. Oh, my God. Is this not game yet? Maybe. No, it's not game yet. Dark Geroid on the last Hydrogeddon to protect your monster. Now, if you can go Chthonian Emperor Dragon here, and like a Chthonian Alliance, and Misawa doesn't have any face, you can't even do that. Oh, no. And you set the monster when he's got Cranium Fish? This is just game. Oh, no. Manjoume. Nudoria protects him 1 more turn, but come on. Oh, no. You should have summoned that face up. You got so lucky that it didn't use its effect. Dark Geroid on the Hydrogeddon. That's going to actually, if he doesn't summon any more monsters, that does somehow give him 1 more turn. But he does summon, oh, my God. Dude, Manjoume annihilated. And now that he's out of the tournament, I will just say, you know what we never saw was Inferno Reckless Summon. He's got Mystic Tomato, 3 copies, Dark Geroid, 3 copies, Chthonian Soldier, 3 copies. Obviously you can't use them off the Mystic Tomato because it's the middle of the damage step, but he's got a lot of Premature Burial, Call the Haunted, all these different things. And I really did want him to play, like, one thing that is really fun with this deck that we just never got to see was Inferno Reckless Summon Dark Geroid and then immediately use it to weaken all 3 of the opponent's monsters, or all 3 of the monsters that they just summoned. Like, a really cool strategy that we just didn't get to see. I'm so sad we never got to see Inferno Reckless Summon all game, nor did we get to see Chthonian Emperor Dragon go off, which, I mean, truly, like, by itself is such a force. It's like an absolute house of a card. And I really did think that was going to be I thought that was going to be like a defining a card for this tournament, even not just for Manjoume. I thought it was going to like really just start be crushing fools. It's just so easy to OTK, but man, everybody that he faced just had great traps, great quick plays, you know, great stuff to just get in its way. And yeah, Manjoume goes out in top 12, does not make it in the top 8 of Duel Academy. Not a bad performance, but definitely below what Manjoume was hoping, and definitely below what his brothers were hoping. It's not a good day for Manjoume, especially after losing oh my god, losing to 2 yellows, losing to 2 raw yellows. Even worse in his ranking is who he lost to. Really not good for Manjoume. So we'll see how that goes. It could have been worse. It could have been worse for sure. So next up, we have our top 8 in the academy. Let's see them, folks. We have Junko Joromoto, Kagurazaka, Asuka Tenjoin, Daichi Misawa, Taira Takayama, Terano Kenzan, Judai Yuki, and of course, the Kaizo. Let's just do a dorm check here. We have 3 Obelisk Blue students left, 1 normal raw yellow student, 3 genetic experiments, and 1 Slifer Red in Judai Yuki. That makes a lot of sense. I think obviously the blues and the genetic experiments are crushing today when it comes to this top 8. We have basically 1 normal raw yellow and 1 red. So yeah, that is tough. Of course, you technically could count Taira as a blue, or Tirana or Kenzan as a yellow, but or Kagurazaka as a yellow, but let's be honest, that's not really what they are. That's just on paper. Anyways, top 8. Excited to see it.